In the United States these days, though I think most people would contend we can't agree on much of anything, this issue, the criminal justice system, is one where there's broad support across the spectrum, which even 5 years ago I would have said was crazy talk, would never happen. But we truly see it, whether you're talking about far right conservatives or far left liberals. You have people agreeing that we are over incarcerating the society here. There's the wrong people in jails and prisons for too long a period of time, and that real things need to be done now. It's more than talk, which is sort of nice as well. We know ourselves, we've been working on quite a few things that are actually being realized now. But in addition to that, around the country, we see people talking in terms of the fact that having 2.3 million people in custody, in prison, and jails, having an additional 5 million people on parole or probation is numbers that not only we should be ashamed of, but numbers that are not sustainable. And I think we've often talked about it not being sustainable on the human side, but also on the fiscal side. When you just look at our place, for example, it's $143 a day to incarcerate somebody, and that's if they do nothing. That's if they don't have a mental illness. That's if they just sit in their cell. Well, that's not our normal detainee. So $143 a day, and in other facilities it's even more, is not sustainable either. So people have been coming up with new programs, somewhat innovative programs, to try to address this issue. We've been going at it in a couple different ways. We've been focusing a great deal of time on the mentally ill who are pouring into jails and prisons throughout the country, primarily because there's been a widespread effort by people who are incredibly short-sighted to shut down mental health facilities, whether it's hospitals or whether it's clinics. And so they're flooding into prisons and jails. So we've spent a great deal of time addressing that issue, both from the human side of people being in the wrong place, but also from the expense side of it as well. But that population, combine it with people who just inherently, based on the type of crime they committed, shouldn't be in jails, those have been receiving a lot of attention, those populations, and I'm seeing real movement finally on efforts to get these folks out of jails and prisons. So we're hopeful, but it's going to require more innovative programs to sell the public on the notion that there are sustainable programs that can work with individuals to prevent them from either coming in the system in the first place or coming back into it. And there's programs, there's some we're doing in the jail now that work with giving training to detainees. We have a marvelous program in the jail right now, teaching them different skills to become chefs, to learn how to cook, how to eat better. It's a phenomenal program, teaching them how to paint. We have a local chef who has been doing all of the work on that, frankly, Bruno Abadi, just fantastic. But it's programs like that, chess programs, we have every type of program you imagine, that we're trying to use to try to penetrate this group. And in the past, other people have done programs such as these. The difference is now you truly have a consensus around this country that things have to change and they have to change soon. So there is a lot more ability to get things done. And that's coming from someone who is a sheriff now, but I used to be a prosecutor and a legislator for years as well. So I can tell you that the times are changing right now, and whether we're talking about the adult population or we're talking about the juveniles, it's the same thing. There is widespread agreement that we have to change how we're dealing with both populations, adults and juveniles. Cannot be over-incarcerating. More thoughtful programs have to be put in place. And I think there's a national consensus what we're doing is not correct. One of the more innovative programs that we have seen probably ever in the Cook County Jail has been Recipe for Change. It's been around for about a year. Before that, the founder of it, the person who really is the one, the driving force, Bruno Abadi, we'd worked with him before in some other capacities as well. But about a year ago it started up, and Recipe for Change has been incredibly exciting for us. We have a lot of programs that we have in and out of the jail, but as far as one that is not just innovative, but has got a track record, and the track record comes from Padua. Giotto has been out there, and Bruno Abadi's been out there himself 3 times. Nicola's been out here at Cook County once as well. And Bruno was so taken by that program, and I didn't go there, but I read all about it and I saw a video of it. I can see why. It's transformative. It's absolutely amazing. And to import it here, we were beyond excited about it, but it wouldn't be happening without Bruno. Bruno's been the one that's been the driving force, and The things I've seen to date have been amazing. I mean, honestly, I talk to the detainees, I talk to the people who are involved in the program, and to say it's transformative is an understatement. I mean, literally talk to them. You'll talk to individuals who don't have a high school degree, who are now talking to you about nutrition that I didn't even understand. They'll be talking about how to prepare food that I couldn't do in my wildest dreams. But more importantly, they're talking about a future that they never had before. Something that they could never have visualized is now very real to them, and something that they feel, and they should feel, because it's going to happen, that they're going to be able to do in a short time when they leave the jail. So the program is inspiring. I cannot thank the people from Giotto enough. Nicola, Bruno, it's been phenomenal. Our only concern we've ever had has been wanting to replicate it on a grander scale, because it is such a phenomenal program. We just want to get more and more people into it. So for us, it's been one of those real bright, shining parts of the criminal justice system. We're hoping that this will take on something that will take on throughout the criminal justice system around the country, and we feel it could. Because it is fantastic. So for us, it's been one of those things that keeps us excited in an otherwise pretty dreary business. One of the things we've already started seeing play out is the individuals involved with the program. So the detainees that have been working with Bruno for some time now have different functions in a jail that they'd never had before. They're preparing food, and the goal is to make it a sustainable type of menu that we're going to be able to utilize. Sometimes maybe for detainees, but we're thinking more about whether there are going to be options for us to take the meals outside of the jail, to be quite frank with you, because our notion has always been to try to change and humanize the people that are in the jail. And what better way to do it than to have interactions with people on the outside? And with that, it prepares people for leaving here, because the other part of it is to find placement for them in the job world when they leave. Bruno himself has been hiring people as they leave here, which has been phenomenal, but that's neither sustainable nor will we ask him to do that. Our strong understanding and hope is that we're going to be able to make people readily available to the restaurant industry. I've met with people from the industry already. They seem to be very, very interested in this, because the training that they're getting here while they're in the jail is something that they don't get with people coming off the street who have no criminal background whatsoever, who walk in looking for a job. So unlike a lot of programs where we're funneling people out into the real world with something that is more of a baseline type of training, this program gives them a level of training that is not just marketable, but you can't get it elsewhere. So it's been going very well so far. It's still, just to say, we're about a year into this, so we're very, very optimistic, though. It has all the telltale signs of a program that we're going to see become a model for places around the country.